Good morning, guys. It's Tuesday the 5th of November and I'm at the Lake Rona car park at the end of Terry Walsh Road, well at the back of Medina. I'm not heading to Lake Rona, but planning to do a solo overnight trip tonight. I'm going to hike to Mount Wright today, then come back down to the river and camp tonight. And tomorrow, if the weather's okay, I'm going to raft a little section of the Gordon down just past Gordon Bend, and then hike back up the Rassellees track to where I started, and then I'll come back out to the car. I'm just on the initial part of the walk from the car park, and I believe it should only take me about half an hour to get down to the Gordon River, where I've got to cross the river. So hopefully the water levels are conducive for that. Worst case scenario, I do have my pack raft with me, so I could always inflate it to get across, but I'd rather not do that today because I'm hoping to save some time and get up Mount Wright and back to camp. I've seen varying estimates of how long it takes people to do Mount Wright, from some people doing it in sort of 5 hours to some people, because they've done it as part of a continuation walk to Stepped Hills, looking like the Mount Wright part has been 5 hours just to get to the summit of Mount Wright. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how long it's going to take, but we'll see when we get there. Well, 2.2 kilometres in, which has taken me 31 minutes, I've made it to the river. So now I just need to find the crossing. Okay, well that water level is a little bit higher than what I had hoped for. It's crossing the log there. I believe the guide at the start, which I didn't read very well, which I'm now regretting, said there was a larger log about 200 metres upstream, so I'm going to have a look at that. Otherwise it says to wade the river at lower levels, but yeah, it's obviously not low today. Well, I've travelled up stream and I've found what I believe to be the larger log. It doesn't have quite as much water going over it, but it still does have a little bit, so this will be interesting. Hi guys, even though it's burned a heap of time, I decided to inflate the raft in the end. The first crossing, the water was flowing quite a bit. The second one with the larger log, although it wasn't flowing quite as quick. And I brought some microspikes because I read that as a means of getting across. Even just getting out to that section was really difficult with the big pack. So I've blown the raft up and I'm going to paddle down and see if I can cross that way. Okay, I'm across the other side. Now I've just got to work how much I've got to pack up, or whether I can leave some of the rafting stuff out if I'm not too far from camp. I ideally would have liked to have just camped by the river, because then I could have left my tent and raft and everything there and let's continue to do the walk. But unfortunately there was a lot of mozzies there, and secondly I think being on the main trail, and I know there's people in at Lake Rona, there will be people coming past here, and I just don't feel super confident about leaving my my gear and my raft there, so I'm going to try and camp somewhere a bit less obvious, just so that my gear's a bit safer. So I'm going to keep going on. Hopefully there'll be some water near where I'm going to camp, otherwise I've got a 1k return trip probably to come back to the river to get water for dinner tonight, but we'll keep pushing on. The other reason I didn't want to camp by the river, as you can see as I'm walking down this track, there's been fire through here, and there's lots of dead and fallen trees, and there was a few big dead trees around that campsite as well. So although I'm not expecting any winds tonight, I figure it's safer just to camp a bit more in the open. There's some button grassy plains between here and where I've got to go to. So the plan is to camp there somewhere. Well, I'm assuming that is Mount Wright behind me, and it looks pretty bloody steep. So anyway, we'll see. I don't think I'm too far from the turn off on the Rassellees track to where I need to go to Mount Wright. So I'll turn off there, and then I think somewhere on the plains behind some scrub I'll see if I can set the tent up, and then I'll have a crack at the mountain. Whether I actually knock it off today or not, we'll see. This looks like it's going to be camp here. coming across the button grass was a little bit boggy in places. Up here I'm on a little bit of a rise, so it's dry here. No trees to fall on me. Unfortunately, it does mean it's a little bit exposed, so hopefully the wind doesn't come up too much this evening. I think my tent would potentially be visible from the main track. No one's got a reason to come past here. Like the main track's probably 400 or 500 metres from here. So yeah, it's really out of someone's road for them to come up here, so hopefully my gear will be safe. Camp set up and it's a little bit after 1, so nearly 1:30. I've got the mountain behind me, so I'm just going to see how far I can get. Hopefully I can get to the top, but we'll just see how time goes. And you can actually see from where I'm camped the White Arch on the way up, which is pretty spectacular. I'm on this ascent and it's pretty bloody steep. Anyway, I'll keep pushing on. I'm a good ways up the hill, but I've still got the real steep bit to go, so I'm buggered already. My tent is just down there. Don't know if you can see it in the video. So yeah, been a fair bit of a climb to get up here. Mountfield West over there. Lots of mountains. It's beautiful out here, but yeah, hot day and no shade at all, so I'm dripping with sweat. I had lost my view of the arch on the way up the hill, but there it is again. It's enormous. It's 3:30 and I think I'm just about there. I think that just there behind me is the summit, so I'll get up there and have a look. Well, according to TasMap, I am on the summit. According to the Gaia map, that's the summit over there. They look to me to be about the same height, so I think I'm going to claim it. Definitely the Tas topographic map says here, so I'm content with that. Some amazing views, some mountains around here. So you can see stepped hills over there. Actually, stepped hills will be over there, which we've done. That would be Clear Hill in the centre there, coming around to Mount Wedge over there, then the Thumbs, then Florentine Peak, and Mountfield West over there. Spectacular views. Well, despite the fact I thought I was on the summit, and I probably was, the other little lump that I was looking at looks like it's got a slightly higher rock, and I didn't want to come all this way and not technically make the summit, so I'm just going to do both, and that'll make sure. Right, it's much of a muchness, I think. I think they're equally high, but I'm on the other point now, so whichever one it is, I've done it.